Let's see how the current ladies stay in such great shape. Welcome, ladies.
Welcome.
Such good shape.
Great shape, right, Carolyn?
That's us. That is us.
Well, what are we doing? Are we really conscious of it? Are you all making strides?
Struggling.
Is that struggling with it? Okay.
Struggling.
Why is that?
Because my schedule is always hectic. And so eating properly, exercising, eating regularly. We were just talking about that. I skip meals. You skip a meal, your body goes into fat storage. So I'm always storing fat. So when you want to talk about health and fitness, just put the donuts on the table.
And enjoy life.
Yeah,
Well, how
I'm
about
always
eating
struggling.
6 little teeny tiny meals a day? You've heard that before, that people say
Yeah.
that's what we ought to be doing.
Yeah.
I'm
But
in
you have
favor
to
of that.
prep for that.
No, that's true.
And that's the thing. I think that's where I fail, and probably most of us the most.
Because you're
is who
running
has
around.
time.
All the time.
I have a difficult time cooking on a regular basis anymore. So we're eating pizza and whatever for dinner. And yeah, so it's hard.
Well, it's about living on purpose. No, I really struggle with it. And, I'm one of these girls that I've dealt with it all my life because I'm only 4'11". And so for me, and I've been up on stage, and it's, the world is always sending you these messages of this is what we're talking about, the labels. You're pretty, you're not, you're worthy, you're not. And we buy into it. I hate to say it. I always say that the devil, he plants a little seed and then we water it. And, God's over there saying you're fearfully and wonderfully made. And he's saying, but you're not quite good enough to do what I've called you to do. And so, we're human. We battle it just like everybody. And so for me, I was younger. I battled anorexia, battled bulimia, where I went weeks without putting one thing in my mouth and about passed out. And just crazy things. I don't even like to talk about it because I don't want to give anybody any ideas who are struggling with it out there. But I finally I've just got to eat healthy. And so, from not eating and then starting to eat, I think I messed my system up a lot. And so now I'm working out with a trainer 6 days a week, eating those little small meals. It's what we're talking, and it's really a struggle that I feel a lot of women do. But I've had to really come to a place in my life that I am not what I weigh. My value is not in what I look like on the outside. And I feel like the world just sends that message. It messes with not only our children, it's messing with the mothers out there.
I think if we boil it down, I'm just sitting here listening and thinking, I think really the goal, and I certainly don't do a great job of this, but the goal is to live a long, healthy life to serve God and serve others.
Right.
That's
I mean,
right.
I think if we boil it down, because the world keeps telling us all of these other things, but really we want to be healthy so that we can serve God and serve others.
Right.
Yeah, right?
And I'll tell you, I am I've said this on the show before, comparison is the enemy of contentment. And I have always, I think I was telling Deborah, I was born like a size 10 or 12, okay? So I didn't have a fast metabolism. So I had to learn, I can't compare myself, right? God gave me my body, right? And I've got to do the best I can do with it. And so I recently, in the last year or two, did a program that was really helpful. And it was small meals, but it was more about really not eating processed food. And so I do think what we put in does make a difference. And so we have, at our house, we really try to, I know it's expensive, but we try to buy organic stuff and we try really hard not to eat the processed food because I think, what I read is that our body takes so much longer to break everything down. So if you're eating, more fruits and more vegetables and more, then it's easier to break it down. And I've worked really hard on developing a strong exercise program because I do feel better. And I'm trying, I think I'm getting to the point where I'm gonna quit comparing myself, right? Because God gave me, my body, not yours. I would love your body or yours, but he didn't give that to me. So we just have to be okay with who we are and work on being healthy.
And we
I
always
wouldn't know
want
what
we
to
don't
do.
have.
I wouldn't know what to do with your body.
Yeah, right?
Because, because we were talking, I think a lot of times you have to think about your genetics as well.
Yeah.
I said this when I first started this show. What I'm never going to be is a skinny white girl. and you rarely,
We don't need another one of those.
right, but my point is, you rarely see African American women that are as slim as you are. And I think that has something to do with our genetics.
Yeah.
And so I totally agree that for me, it really, really does. And Barbara, I'm getting older too. I know that you don't believe that.
No, I don't.
But, I'm middle 50. Let's
that's
just leave it
crazy.
at that. And so one of the things that I've noticed is that I don't feel like I felt when I was 35 or 45. I'm feeling a little differently. So what, and I can tell.
Yeah.
When I don't have enough green leafy vegetables, my body just doesn't have the fuel that it needs. And so my point is, it really, for me, it really has to do with what do I need to do so that I can feel well. I've said this forever. I still have grandbabies to play with. And I want to be out in the yard, running with them and playing with them. And my youngest is 15, so I have a while to go. I want to get there, Kristen, and I want to feel good I want to look good doing it, but I really want to feel
You
good
look
doing
good,
it.
Deborah. You look fantastic.
But you understand what I'm saying?
I'm
it's
with
like
you.
you get to a point where it's not about I need to look good because she looks good or she looks.
Right.
It's not about that, because I have to accept that this is the body God gave me, and this body is the temple of the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
And so I need to do right by this temple.
Yep.
And this temple will do right by me and allow me to be able to accomplish the things that God put me here to accomplish.
And it's funny, I tell my kids that very same thing all the time because we really try to eat healthy. We can't always afford the organic, but you can get, I say, let's eat foods that are alive. You know, because I say, you know, you want your body to be good to you, so you have to be good to your body. And I think it's that simplicity of just making those choices of when you look at the food of, is this something that's going to feed me, feed my spirit, feed my soul? And really just taking care of it that way. That's what I'm trying to do now. And I'm really trying to get rid of, I know it sounds crazy, I go in to put 4x6 cards all over my house of I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I mean, to me, I'm going to battle with the enemy and just what he tries to do in my mind of telling us that we're not good enough and you don't measure up and all these little lies that, and then the world, you know, the world can be mean. People can say mean things of, oh, you know, lose a little bit more of that weight and you'll look good. I mean, they don't mean to be, I don't think they mean to be mean, but people can say mean things.
Well, misery loves miserable company.
Yeah.
And we live in a society where people really, I don't want you to look better than me. And so a lot of times, Carolyn, they do mean it. They mean it because they want to put you in your little box so that they can feel good about themselves. And so you just have to get to a point where you say, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm not going to receive that.
And change our focus. I
Yeah.
think that's what I'm hearing everybody say today, and it's been the biggest thing because this was when I was younger that I battled it so much, is I've just had to change my focus to I eat to be healthy, to have energy, to feel good, to take care of myself, to take care of the temple. But I just want to glorify God. Yeah. You know, and every time when we pray, I say, Lord, you know, bless this food that it would nourish our bodies so we can do good things to help others. It's changing our focus to get it off of ourselves and to get it on an others focus. And I think for me, I'm a stress eater. We were talking about this. So I think it's really look at your life. You know that book that says it's not what you're eating, it's what's eating you. And you're really looking at yourself every time you sit down to look at that food and go, why am I eating this? What's my spirit? Where am I at? I mean, it's really asking that why question, you know, because sometimes I'm eating out of comfort. Sometimes it's like, I tell people if I was a smoker, it'd be like this, you know?
Well, you know, one of the verses I brought that ties into that, because we were talking about stress eating, is to not bring our anxieties to food, but instead to bring them to God. And there's the verse in Philippians 4:6-7, which says, do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, through prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. And so we like to eat when we get stressed. But instead, if we would just go to God and just go to His Word and calm ourselves and not look for the comfort in the food, but look to the comfort in the Lord, it might help us.
No, it's such a good word, you know, and that's what it's about, is where are we finding our comfort.
And it's intentionality too, you know, and that's one of the reasons we're doing the program today, to make us a little more aware of what we need to be doing. Your diet is not going to be the same as my diet and so forth, but we need to be eating the things that are going to be making us feel good so that we can serve God and serve our families and play with our grandchildren and all of that. But here's the deal. I got to say, for my life, I love the word moderation.
Yes.
Amen. And I really don't think that I need to, the rest of my life, be deprived of that bowl of homemade peach ice cream.
Say
it's
that.
not going to happen.
It's true.
And I'm going to, like Oprah said, I'm going to eat the bread once in a while.
right.
I'm not going to eat it every night for dinner, but I'm going to eat bread and potatoes with butter and ice cream for my dessert. And I think
for your dinner.
or for my dinner, either way, depends on what night it is. You stop that. It has been true. It has been true. But what do you all think about moderation? And I know there'll be some vegans. Vegans? Is that how you say it? Vegan? Vegans listening, and some vegetarians and all that. And that's okay. That's fine. But for me, I want to be able to eat everything and eat it in moderation.
Amen. Hallelujah. Set us
If
free.
I don't eat the ice cream once in a while, like if I deprive myself, it's not going to be a small bowl when I eat it.
True.
I go overboard.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we make, again, you and I, Barbara, are probably a lot alike in that regard.
We are.
If I don't have the donut holes
Yes.
when I want them, and I keep depriving myself, now it's going to be half a dozen donuts.
Exactly.
And so I think we have to give ourselves what they call a cheat day or a cheat meal.
Yeah.
And just say, you know what, I'm just going to let myself be. I'm just going to let myself have it today. I don't think that God would allow all of this great stuff to exist and we not have the opportunity to enjoy it once in a while.
Well, he probably didn't create the potato chips and the Doritos and all
No,
that. Did he create that?
He gave somebody the wisdom to be able to do that, Barbara.
I like your thinking,
The
Deborah.
Bible says all good gifts come from above.
Yeah.
Potato chips come from
Better not be changing it though.
Potato chips.
Let's talk about supplements. What kind of vitamins do you think that we should be taking? Because I'm not a big believer in supplements. My 94-year-old mother, you know how many vitamins a day I give her?
How many?
0.
Wow.
She gets nothing. She gets no medication.
Well, you know what
That's
the problem
great.
is?
And
I-
she's doing great.
And she's doing right. I haven't killed her yet. Yeah, she's doing great.
I recently heard somebody say that supplements is all about the dollars.
Really?
There's billions of dollars being made. Where should we get those vitamins
In
that
our
we
food.
need?
In our
Thank
food.
you.
Absolutely.
So if we're
Absolutely.
eating and we're eating healthy, why do we need supplements?
Right. Well, because we're not eating healthy is probably why.
And so when you go to the doctor, I was vitamin D deficient. Well, what they say is African American people aren't normally vitamin D deficient. I don't sit out in the sun. I don't drink
Right.
whole milk. So it's easy for your body to become low or depleted in certain areas if you're not doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So I take my dog for a long walk.
Good.
So I get my sun, so it helps with my vitamin D.
So you don't take supplements?
No.
Okay. Anybody
And it
take
also helps
supplements?
with my
I do, but it's
walking,
just
right?
like a one a day, a woman's one a day.
Okay.
I don't even know why
You?
I do it.
Are you?
No.
Oh, I didn't even know if you took supplements
No,
or
I
not.
don't. I should. I don't have the discipline to do that.
Okay. It's about discipline rather
For me,
than.
it is about discipline.
So you think they
well,
actually
no,
help?
I don't know. I mean, all I know is that I got one Flintstone chewable a day when I was a kid,
Yep.
and they were delicious.
Yes,
tasted
they
like
were.
candy.
What was your favorite flavor?
Orange.
Me
Yes.
too, orange for sure.
But I do say you get out of life what you put in it. I mean, and that's why I think that you have. I was just thinking about this morning about living in hindsight. If you could look back at your life and live in hindsight, and you go, "Oh, I would do that so different." And I think there is so many people out there that, they have high blood pressure and they have all this stuff and high cholesterol, that if they do just change their food, all of a sudden they can come off of those medications
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
And so, I do think for us, I choose not to go to some of the fast food places. And sometimes when I'm traveling, my bag, I carry a backpack with just so much food in it, because we do like to eat. And we do try to eat every couple hours and snacks. So I try to keep good stuff. But I think it's living in like you said.
Moderation.
Moderation. I think, we go every Saturday after we do a bike ride and get ice cream after the bike ride, for the
Sure,
kids. So
sure.
I think it's important, but I do think that we need to be conscious of what we're eating, why we're eating, and take care. We are the temple of
Well,
God.
I want to share one recipe with you all.
Yeah, bring on the
Good.
recipes.
I mean, this is easy. This
Do you
is
cook?
not-
I didn't know you cooked.
I know, right?
No, it doesn't taste good when she cooks it. I thought it's the question.
Apparently, from this one.
Just hadn't been over in a while. It's
you
okay.
were over this past week lifting up the lid to my pot, whatever was on the stove. I was thinking of all y'all because she was, okay, so a couple months ago, I was introduced to this smoothie. Okay, so this is an easy smoothie that's good for breakfast. You do have to prepare when you go to the grocery store. You need to get these 7 ingredients.
Serum.
But I think it was actually, it's like a detox smoothie is what they call it, but I just think it's a green smoothie and it does everything for you.
I can't wait to hear this
So
because
I'm giving you the 7 ingredients.
Okay.
Cucumber,
Okay.
peeled, celery, a lemon peeled, so get rid of the peel, spinach, kale, a green apple, and parsley.
Okay.
I bet
All right,
that's
ready?
Sounds like a
wait.
detox.
So I do one every morning too. It's green
That every
smoothie.
morning?
A little different.
Okay.
Mine's a little better tasting, I bet. But it's same thing. Spinach, green grapes,
Oh.
half a banana, figs, two dates, and a little bit of pineapple. So mine's like sweeter,
yeah.
but it's, I mean, a ton of spinach. So it is all healthy and it tastes really
Well,
good.
I think next time we're
That's
all together,
detox.
we should have a smoothie off.
All right, let's do it.
We'll see.
I'll be
We'll
the
see
taste
who
tester.
feels better.
Okay,
And
we'll see who tastes
Not taste better.
it tastes better.